Welcome to Kim Wilpon Crafts. Kim isn't here today. I'm Bev. I'm actually Kim's mom. You may recognize me from some past episodes where Kim totally shamed me about all of my UFOs. Since then, and a global pandemic, I've actually finished a lot of stuff, so kind of thrilled about that. So I'm going to start by saying this is my yarn haul from Rhinebeck. Kim and I went to Rhinebeck, New York, to the Dutchess County Fairgrounds. We took a chance, I guess we're still in the pandemic, mid-pandemic, and we thought, we want to go. It's open, we want to go, and we did, and it was, thank you, everyone who participated. It was amazing. It was just amazing. So everyone did a great job, and it was pretty wonderful even walking around because people wore their masks indoors, and they did their best to follow all the directions, and I felt safe, and it bought a lot of yarn. So today is talking all about the yarn I bought. And I'm gonna start with the sweater I'm wearing, which I did not buy the yarn at Rhinebeck. This sweater is called a terrazzo sweater, designed by Petite Knits. It's called terrazzo because of the beautiful combination of colors, but of course I didn't use those colors. I used the Madeline Tosh When Particles Collide because I fell in love with that. However, this pattern is so wonderful that I decided I needed another one of these in another color that I love. So that's the first yarn I'm gonna show you. There's a lot of this. I don't have it all out in front of me. I did buy about 10 skeins of it. It is Cozy Colorworks, and it is a DK weight, 275 yards, and the color is called Bright Burgundy, and it's good for me. So I can't wait to make this sweater in this yarn. Kind of amazing. I'm very, very excited about that. This was one of the yarns that I was determined to get. I knew about this yarn because I had seen it 2 years ago, 2019, and I wanted it. So I went back to get just this, and luckily they had it. So that tells me that I should probably talk about how I organized my trip to Rhinebeck. I actually made a Rhinebeck wish list because typically I just buy yarn because I love it, and then it just kind of sits in now Ziploc bags so that nothing can happen to it. But I've got a lot of yarn that just sits, so this year I decided I'm gonna get some yarn that I actually want to do something with. That didn't stop me from buying impulse yarn, which I'll talk about afterwards. So this was my first planned purchase, but while I was at Cozy Colorworks, I found something else spectacular. I wanted to make the Ziggy hat by Woolly Wormhead. I've already cast on. Oops, let me just put that stitch back on there. So this yarn is a worsted weight yarn, also from Cozy Colorworks. It's called Spumoni, and it is gorgeous. And I just envision myself wearing this sweater and this hat together because it's just kind of perfect together. But I couldn't help but cast on, and that's my first Rhinebeck started project. While I'm in the wound yarn, this was another planned one. I'm going to make, forgive me, I'm gonna go to my list. I wanted to make the beeswax hat, cowl, and mitts. And of course, I read the directions wrong. I thought this was gonna be enough for all three projects. Not quite sure what I was thinking. But this yarn, I don't know the colorways because it's not on the card, but it's by Hello Mellow. And tell me this is not gorgeous, right? This is like, and you can't feel it, but I can. It's amazing. So I have already contacted the designer, who was very, very gracious and very lovely, and said, I need 2 more of these. And she said, I will do that for you. Beautiful, beautiful. I can't wait to do this also. Just have to live long enough to do all of my knitting. The next thing that I planned on buying was a contrast yarn for a sweater that I'm going to make, which for whatever reason, I can never remember the name of, and it's really quite simple name, so I don't know why I can't remember the name of it. The sweater I'm making is Pink Velvet by Andrea Mowry, and I bought the gray yarn, but I couldn't find the exact pink I wanted for the color work that goes in the yoke. While I was online waiting for Kim to purchase her things, she brought me out some samples of some yarn that I could use, and I did fall in love with this Yowza Mini. It is the 2021 Rhinebeck colorway. It's called Last of the Dahlias, and it's going to be perfect for that sweater. So that was another fabulous planned purchase. So then there were some impulse buys. While we were waiting online to get in, I noticed this woman who, I never got your name, sorry, but I loved her sweater. It's called the Felix. I was like, I have to have that. So wasn't planning on it, but I did have to buy yarn for it. It's going to be 2 strands held together. These are both Miss Babs. This one is called Cygnus, and it is a superwash merino wool, 400 yards. It is fingering weight, and this is called, the type of yarn is Moon Glow. It's a lace weight mohair, kid mohair silk, and it's 435 yards, and together it's going to make a glorious Felix sweater. And as far as impulses go, literally the first stand I stopped at, I fell in love. This is from Peterborough Farms, 2 strands of yarn. The designer of the project I'm going to make was there, and she helped me pair this yarn that I fell in love with this yarn that I probably would not have picked. I don't know if you can see it, but it's sort of brown. It's got these multicolored, like metallic strands through it that it's simply stunning. Looking so forward to making this cowl. It's called He Said, She Said, and the designer is Jenny Montalone. If I didn't pronounce your name right, I'm so sorry, but it's gorgeous. So this one is Ruby, 260 yards. It is 100% wool. It doesn't say, but I believe it's a worsted. And this colorway, it doesn't say what it is. So I don't know. It's brown and sparkly. I love it. That wasn't the end of my impulse shopping. Pretty excited about this. So I've always wanted to make the Papillon shawl, which is just stunning. But I was a little afraid because between the color work and it just looked pretty intricate. So when we passed by one of our favorites, Ellen's Pint Farm, if you ever go to Rhinebeck, you need to stop there. This is just like a wonderful family place. Anyway, this is a little butterfly cowl that she put together yarn for. And what I'm gonna tell you is that I love the pinky orangey neon color, but I didn't like the color that it was paired with. So Ellen took another package apart and gave me the color I wanted, which, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. So this yarn is 100% merino. It's in total 240 yards. And I wish I could tell you what the colors are other than I love them. And that is the end of my yarn haul. I mean, there's a lot more yarn here, but those are for the sweaters and you've seen the yarn already. I just love buying yarn and I love having yarn and I love smelling yarn and I love knitting yarn, but I think having it is part of the fun. So this is my stuff. Can't wait to use it. Hopefully I'll make beautiful, beautiful things. Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe. Okay, this is my daughter's channel, so subscribe, okay? And also give it 5 stars or a thumbs up or whatever you do on these things. Like just say, hey, this was fantastic, because it is. I mean, maybe not me, but Kim will be back next week and it really will be fantastic. So please don't, tune in next week. And it was great to be part of this. Bye.